What's up? We're back at Rudy's World, and I'm in my garage. It's freezing. It's winter now, still. However, one hot item showed up at my buddy's house in the trailer. He went down to Texas to pick up this amazing Mopar, and I'm gonna show you what it is in a few minutes. I'm gonna take a ride to his house, help him unload it. But it's a Dodge Charger. It's a Hemi car, but there's a little special story behind this one. And it now belongs to, it used to belong to a friend of mine nearby, my buddy Tom, who actually did a previous video on his collection in his cool garage months ago with all his cool memorabilia everywhere and all his bicycles. That was Tom. Anyway, he owned this Hemi car years ago, sold it to a gentleman down in Texas who started doing a complete concourse restoration on it, got really close to finishing the car, and then saw another amazing car that came up for sale and had to sell this car. So as soon as it came up for sale, we, my friend Joe and I saw it, and we told my buddy Steve, Mr. Steve, who owns the black 1969 Hemi Charger 4-speed that you've seen in my other videos. We're like, dude, this thing's for sale. It's almost done. It's been being restored properly, like beautiful restoration job by Mr. Troy that owned it. And we think you should consider buying this thing because it is super rare and it would look badass sitting back right next to that black 69 in your garage. So, you know, a little time went by, and what do you know? Steve bought the car, and now the car is here, and we're going to take a look at it right now. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this car and what it is supposed to be, because it's a kind of a unique story with this one. So let's go check it out. Let's get out of the trailer. I'll give you a quick rundown on what it looks like with some video footage, and then I'm going to sit by the fireplace and tell you more. All right, here we go. Look at that baby, straight up from Texas. Real deal, 1969 Dodge Hemi Charger 500. So now we're gonna load this sucker. It's freezing outside. Joe's gonna finish the restoration on it. He's the one that restored the black one. This one was almost done, so he's gonna get up here, button the car up, finish the resto, and it's going in my buddy's collection. So buckets, console, automatic, 426 Hemi, Charger 500. Man, R4 red exterior, black guts. This is gonna be, I mean, it's close. The man who was restoring this car did one hell of a job keeping it correct across the board, you know, concourse. And another car popped up and he decided to let this one go. But man, this is it's so close to being finished. It may not look like it to most people, but it's not far. So I think a few months down the road, this thing could be all done and buttoned up. It's going to depend on parts availability, of course. These days it's really tough to get stuff that you need for these restorations. But man, this car is going to be a head turner. Just beautiful red Hemi Charger.
did a nice job on it, you know.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I was watching it online as he was restoring it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Really doing a, you know, spared no expense. Every detail was not overlooked at all.
Yeah.
It ain't far off. That is the numbers matching 426 right there. Man. That is a 68 Hemi Charger right there. Dark blue. Real deal. Automatic. I think it's an automatic. Wow, what a cool car, huh? So here we go. Let's sit down and talk about this car. I'm gonna pull up a chair by the fire and tell you more. Ooh, that's better. Ooh, it's actually hot. Anyway, you know, in my videos I've been wearing this old hat a lot, and I'm not like a super hat wearing guy, but it just kinda, I go in phases. I'll go like 2 years without wearing a hat. Then I'll go a whole year where I just wanna wear a hat all the time. And this one's getting pretty shabby, you know, but I figured I would change hats today. I got a brand new one, so I'm gonna do it for you guys now, because you're probably sick of seeing the same old Night of the Living Dead hat on my head. So I'm gonna ditch that and put on my new hat, which looks so much better. How's that? So this Charger I just showed you is one of the very first press release cars built. The first 6 Hemi Charger 500s built. This is one of them. They were all red and nearly identical with the exception of the transmissions and of course the rear ends too. So 3 of them, they were all Hemi cars, Hemi 500s. 3 of them were 4-speeds, the other 3 were 727 torque flight automatics. 3 4-speed cars are accounted for, but only 1 of the automatics is accounted for to date. To right now, this is the only one known to be found out of the 3 that were built, is the one I just showed you. And this car is believed to be, there's very, very strong belief that this is the car from the Bud Lindemann video. Okay, Bud Lindemann had a car TV show in the late 60s and early 70s called Road Track? Not Road and Track, it was like Road Track. Am I messing that up? I don't know, I was just born, I don't remember. But anyway, I was a little kid back then, so I don't remember the show, but it was kind of like the Top Gear. Oh my God. It's like the Top Gear of its time, you know. And a very well-known show. But anyway, in this episode he did of these Hemi Charger 500s, they used 2 cars apparently. One of the 4-speeds and one was an automatic. And many, many important people out there believe that this is the actual car from that Bud Lindemann video. Even Galen Govier himself believes this. So, and I know a lot of you might want to go crazy in the comments, you know, telling me off because you may think differently. I'm going by what I've read and researched. Okay, so this has already been in a magazine once. This car, when it kind of surfaced, and now I think once Joe finishes the restoration on it, we're gonna get it back in there with a nice story. But anyway, so the story goes, the first 6 cars were built and over at Creative Industries. You know, the Daytonas and the Superbirds were, you know, finished off there with the special windows and the wings, and everyone knows the Charger Daytona as the NASCAR, special NASCAR car, but the 500 is what started all of that, and they ended up changing and using the Daytonas later with the wing cars. But this 500 is a very special car, very rare. They only built 392 of these Charger 500s. So all 6 of these cars, the press release cars, all came with the Hemi. 3 were automatics, 3 were 4-speeds. This is one of the first cars built. The #1 car exists, okay? And the strange story behind this car is it has its original fender tag and build sheet. However, when the build sheet was found on this car, it was the build sheet for the first car built. So on the line, when they were building these 2 cars, I would assume at Creative or even on the assembly line, I'm not sure what order this all happened, but when they were putting the back seats in the cars, they mixed up the 2 build sheets. So this car got the build sheet from the #1 built car, and then the build sheet for this car, which I guess allegedly is the second one built, got stuck in the first car. And later, 50 something, you know, over 50 years later, those 2 build sheets were reunited with each car because the 2 owners of the cars were aware of what happened, and both cars existed. The other was a 4-speed, and they were able to give each other's build sheet back. And that even proves more that this car is one of those first 2 or 3 built. Like, that's, you know, how much more proof do you need? And I think they were actually thinking that maybe the back seats were mixed up because they stuffed those in the back seats, put the back seats in the car, and maybe they put, you know, one back seat in this one and the other in the other car, and so maybe they have each other's back seats, who knows. All right, back to the Charger. A guy by the name of Troy Hawks, who purchased it from my buddy Tom years ago, was doing the restoration on this car. And it is I mean, he was doing everything correct. Concourse, you know, the overspray underneath, sparing no expense, making this thing beautiful. So we knew by following this restoration for months, we told my friend who bought it, we're like, man, he's been doing it right. You know, it's awesome when you could see a guy going from step by step, from body and paint through the whole thing. So you already know what's in that car, what's been done to it, what parts he's been buying, all kinds of NOS parts. It has NOS mufflers, you know, a lot of great little details. So when this thing is done, it's gonna be another high dollar Hemi Charger, that's for sure. And we told my buddy, like, man, you've got like one of the pinnacle 69 Chargers there is. You have a triple black Hemi car, 4-speed. In my mind, like I said in the videos, it does not get any better than that. But I mean, now the next, you gotta get the 500. It's 2 different cars, both Hemi cars. Now you'll have both 69 Charger Hemis side by side in your collection. That is so awesome. And then you know what's next. You'll have to end up getting a Hemi Daytona down the road to have the trifecta. That's the big one. The prices those are commanding these days is just outright insane. It's incredible. But anyway, back to this car. My buddy Joe Moosebickler, who single-handedly restored the black one, is gonna finish up the restoration on this red one. You know, it's a red automatic buckets console. I'll go over some of the options, I think, in a few minutes, but Joe is very capable of buttoning this thing up. Concourse all the way. You'll have all the inspection marks and paint marks and all that. And it's gonna be a showstopper. It's R4 red, which is Charger red. It's an original 69 color. Right now the car has its original glass in it. It's up in the air whether it's gonna stay in there or new glass is gonna be put in. But from what we saw this morning, I mean, what a nice car. The body and paint's beautiful. You know, I can't wait to show you more updates on this car. This is just a quick video introducing the car to you guys. That a lot of you are gonna know this car. A lot of you in the Mopar world are gonna know the history on this thing, and there's articles you can read on this thing. Just go type in Bud Lindemann Charger and all this stuff pops up. So anyway, thanks for watching this, and I'll get you some more info on the car soon, and I'm gonna follow up with updates. So see you soon.
It only got 7 miles to the gallon, and it was noisy. But the Charger 500 is the kind of car that quickens your pulse and puts a fire in your guts. And really, that's what supercars are all about.